Okay? So if they ask you to simplify by collecting like terms, you are not solving it. All you're doing is making the statement, this is a sentence. It's an expression. All you're doing is making it shorter. You're just simplifying it. So you're just putting your like terms together, just like I showed you with the algebra tiles. So I like to circle my like terms. I know that I can combine a 3x and a 2x. Instead of saying I have 3 apples and you have 2 apples, I can say all together we have how many apples? 5 apples. Let's pretend x represents apples, right? And then I have a 5 and a 1. What's 5 plus 1?
6.
That's it. That's all you're doing. That's the answer. You are just combining the terms that are like to make it shorter. I can add the 2k and I can add the, okay, what's 2k plus 6k?
8k.
And then I can add the 3m and 4m is, okay, make sure you include the sign. Again, these are the easy ones. Let's look at subtraction now. I have an 8n and do I have a positive 3n or a negative 3n? That means I am going to take these and I'm going to subtract them. You can write it out. 8n, I'm going to do 8n, take away 3n. And then I'm going to do positive 5, take away 2. Always attach the sign to the number. And then just simplify it. What is 8? Take away 3. So I have 5n, right? Then what's 5 take away 2? It's a positive 3. So your final answer would be 5n plus 3. First thing I like to do is I like to color code my like terms. I just find this easier personally. So I'm going to look for any terms that have the same variable and exponent. So I'm just going to start at the beginning. Do I have any other terms that are a squared? Which term is a squared? Is it positive or negative? Circle the sign. So then I'll write it. I know I'm going to have to do 2a squared, take away 2a squared, right? So actually we'll cross that out because I've rewritten it in order. This is just the way I like to do it because when you have so many terms, you might mix them up. I'm just rearranging this expression to put my terms together that I can add or subtract, right? Then I have negative 3ab. Do I have any other terms that go with that? Which one? Okay, so I have negative 3ab plus 5ab. So I'm going to cross those out because I've rewritten them. And then we can go in order. Negative 6. Are there any other terms that are just a number by itself? Positive 7. So negative 6 plus 7. And then, what's this term? Plus 4b squared. Can I add anything to 4b squared? Are there any other terms that have a b squared? Nope. So that's going to just stay as is. I can't do anything. I can't make that shorter. I can't simplify that. And do I have any other terms that I haven't written? Yes, I do. I have this negative 3b. Can I add or subtract anything to that? So I'm just going to write minus 3b at the end. We're not going to even touch these terms. We can't do anything with them, right? Now that we've put our like terms together, we've collected them, now we're just going to simplify them. What's 2a squared? Take away 2a squared. 0. Do I have to write 0a squared? What's 0 times anything? It's 0. So I don't even have to write anything there. This is going to be 0. You could write 0a squared, but that is equal to 0. 0 times anything will always be 0. So that's actually simplified. Then I have negative 3ab plus 5ab. Do the coefficients first. What's negative 3 plus 5? Positive or negative? So I'm just going to write 2ab. You with me? Good. Negative 6 plus 7 is equal to what?
1.
So plus 1. Then I have my plus 4b squared and take away 3b. And that is actually your final answer. And how do I know? How do I know I can't make this any shorter? There are no like terms. A b term, I have a constant term, I have a b squared term, and I have a b term. I cannot make this any shorter. That's the final answer. I could rearrange this. I could write 4b squared minus 3b plus 2ab plus 1. That's the exact same answer. It doesn't matter what order you write it in as long as you're putting the correct sign in front of it. We have our 3mn, take away 3mn.
That's 0.
That's going to be 0, so I'm not even going to write that because in my head I know that's going to equal to 0. I'm not even going to have an mn squared. I'm not going to have an mn term at all in this, right? Because these are going to cancel out. So then let's start with this. I have a 6m squared. Do I have any other m squareds? A negative 1m squared. So 6m squared, take away 1m squared. I have a negative 1n squared. And, oh, that's a positive. A positive 2n squared. Okay, and then what do I have? I have a plus 3 and a minus 4. Okay, that's the hard part, is rearranging it, making sure you've included everything, putting it all together. Now our final answer. What is 6m squared? Take away 1m squared.
5m squared.
I have 5m squareds, and then I have a negative 1 plus 2 is equal to positive 1. I don't even have to write the 1, but it's 1n squared, or just n squared. And then 3 take away 4. That's it. That's the answer that we should have got. Okay, this question says 3x squared take away 4xy plus 6y squared take away, look here, taking away a positive 6x squared, then I'm also taking away a negative 8xy because those are in brackets. It's telling me that I have to take away everything inside the bracket. So you're taking away a negative, and here you're taking away a negative. Because there are brackets here, what's going to happen to the signs in the second bracket? They're all going to change, right? Does that make sense? Are the signs going to change from the first bracket? No, because I'm just going to drop the brackets. But then I have to make sure I'm taking away this term. So if I'm taking away a positive, it just becomes taking away my 6x squared, right? Then I'm taking away this because it was in the bracket. The brackets mean that you have to take away everything that's inside the bracket. So I'm taking away a negative 8xy. What does that become? Right? So we put plus 8xy. And then I'm taking away a negative 3y squared. So that becomes, okay. So anytime you have subtraction and brackets, a quick rule you can remember is all the signs just become the opposite. This was positive, it became negative. This was negative, it became positive. This was negative, it became positive. Because you have to apply that takeaway to everything in the bracket. Grouping with the 3x squared. No, not positive. It's 3x squared, take away 6x squared. Okay, next one. Amount. We have negative 4xy and a positive 8xy goes with that. Last one, Chaharu. Positive 6y squared plus 3y squared. Okay, now it's the easy part. Just add and subtract numbers. What is 3 take away 6? Positive or negative? Negative 3x squared. What's negative 4 plus 8? Good. What is 6 plus 3? That's it. That's your final answer.